Everyone, today let us continue with the male reproductive system. Okay, so last class we have seen up to the testis, so remaining we are going to see in the today's class. Okay, so next organ is the vas deferens or deferent duct. So this is 45 centimeter in long. It passes upwards from the testis through the inguinal canal. Okay, so and it ascends medially towards the posterior wall of the bladder, where it joined with the duct from the seminal vesicles to form an ejaculatory tract. So next is the seminal vesicles. So seminal vesicles are two small fibromuscular pouches lined with the columnar epithelium, lying on the posterior aspect of the bladder. That is, it lies behind the bladder. So as its lower end, each seminal vesicles opens into a short duct which joins with the corresponding vas deferens to form an ejaculatory duct. So functions of seminal vesicles. So the seminal vesicles contract and expels their storage contents, seminal fluid, during ejaculation. So seminal fluid, which forms 60% of the bulk of the fluid ejaculated in the male organ, contains nutrients to support the sperm during their journey through the female reproductive tract. So next is the ejaculatory ducts. So the ejaculatory ducts are the two tubes about 2 centimeter in length, each formed by the union of the duct from the seminal vesicles and the vas deferens. So they pass through the prostate gland and join the prostate urethra. That is, your urethra will be divided into certain regions. So in the prostate urethra, they will go and join, carrying seminal fluid and the sperm to the urethra. So the ejaculatory ducts are composed of some layers of tissue at the seminal vesicles. So next is the prostate gland. So the prostate gland lies in the pelvic cavity in front of the rectum and behind the symphysis pubis, surrounding the first part of the urethra. It consists of an outer fibrous covering, a layer of smooth muscle, and a glandular substance composed of columnar epithelial cell. So the functions of prostate gland are, so this prostate gland will secrete a thin milky fluid that makes up about 30% of the semen and gives it a milky appearance. So it is slightly alkaline, which provides a protective local environment for the sperm arriving the acidic vagina. Okay, so the vagina region will be, vagina is the organ present in female reproductive tract, so it will be acidic in nature. So this prostate secretion will render the semen into alkaline nature. So it also contains a clotting enzymes which thicken the semen in the vagina, increasing the semen being retained in the cervical region. Okay, so because if the since this semen, if it is not retained in the cervical region, so reproduction will not occur. So next is the urethra. So male urethra provide a common pathway for the flow of urine and the semen, a combined secretions of the male reproductive organ. So it is about 19 to 20 centimeter long and consists of 3 parts. The prostatic urethra originates at the urethral orifice of the bladder and passes through the prostate gland. The membranous urethra is the shortest and narrowest part and extends from the prostate gland to the bulb of the penis after passing through the perineal membrane. So the spongious or penile urethra lies within the corpus spongiosum of the penis and terminates at the external urethral orifice in the glans penis. So there are 2 urethral sphincters. The internal sphincter consists of smooth muscle fibers at the neck of the bladder above the prostate gland, and the external sphincter consists of skeletal muscle fibers surrounding the membranous part. Okay, so next is the penis. So penis, it has a root and a body. So root lies in the perineum on, body supports the urethra. So it forms the 3 cylindrical masses of erectile tissue and involuntary muscles. So the erectile tissue is supported by fibrous tissue and covered by skin and has a rich blood supply. The 2 lateral columns are called corpus cavernosum, and the column between them contain urethra. It is the corpus spongiosum. Okay, so at its tip, it is expanded into a triangular structure called as glans penis. So just above the skin glans penis, the skin is folded upon itself to form a movable double layer. It is called the foreskin or prepuce. So the penis is supplied by autonomic and somatic nervous system. So parasympathetic stimulation will lead to filling of the spongy erectile tissue, that is corpus cavernosum, and with the blood cause the arterial dilation. So there will be, artery will be dilated and veins will be constricted. So which will increase the blood flow to the penis and obstructs the outflow of the blood. So the penis therefore becomes engorged in its size, erect, an essential requisite for the coitus. Coitus means sexual intercourse, okay, to occur. So this is the structure of the penis. So this you can see here the perineal membrane, bulb of the penis, urethra, corpus cavernosum, corpus spongiosum and glans penis. Okay. So this is the overall structure. There you can see the perfuse here, that is the foreskin, external urethral sphincter, the glans penis, everything. Okay. So you just have a revision over this. Remaining we can see in the next class.